Hello there guys, welcome back to the e-bike repairs YouTube channel. My name's Darsh, that's D-A-R-S-H, for anyone who cares or is interested. And I take part and I fix super fun and exciting stuff. Mostly bike batteries at the moment apparently, but you know, motors, controllers, that sort of stuff. Today I've got this. Look. RAD power bikes. 48 volt, 14 amp hour. In the past, I think I've tested it. That looks like, maybe that says 13 amp hours, I think. But if you look at this serial number here, which hopefully you can read. I get up on my my telephone, this little article. Got an interesting little article here. Where have we gone? I had it ready, but it's moved. Here we go. The CPSC, which is America. The United States Consumer Product Safety Commission warns immediate users to immediately stop using batteries for e-bikes from RAD power bikes due to fire hazard, risk of serious injury or death. Now, having looked at these, they don't seem that bad. I'd have thought it was fine. This is actually my my girlfriend's bike battery, and yeah, interesting. So, what it is if you look at these part numbers, where's it gone? Somewhere it says exactly what one it is. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It was a thing. Ah, look, here you go. RP1304, 48 volt, 14 amp hour, 672 watt hours, and you can see it says DDLG RP. This one's a H, that one's not a H. Some units only. Somewhere it said exactly what one it was. Must be a different page. Anyway, this is apparently one of the affected ones, which is exciting, isn't it? Oh yeah, here you go. That sticker. So we've got HL-RP S1304, 13 INR 1965-4, 48 volt, 14 amp hour, 672 watt hour DLG. So there'll be DLG cells inside, I believe. So let's see what's going on inside here. You've got fairly standard high-long case, RAD power stickers on the sides. I think you could peel them off. On-off switch here, where that sends out the lock barrel, and then that turns it on. So off, on, but that doesn't move the lock barrel. And then to turn it, to unlock it, you've got to push in the key and twist. Fairly standard RAD stuff. There's a fuse here, a 40 amp and a 5 amp. The 40 amps for the discharge and the 5 amp is for the charging. To open it, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little screws. Let's pop them out. They are Phillips or posi head, crosshead screws we'll call them. And all the screws are the same, I think, apart from the last two. So all those screws look like that, fairly standard ones, but I think these two at the end are different. Yeah, they're countersunk ones at the end there, like that. So excuse the state of my hands, I've been fixing bikes. Right, so to open this up, should just all pop out like that. There we go. I thought they were quite well built, to be honest. I was, you know, whenever I've been inside one of these, I thought, oh, it's quite nice. As far as these things go, you know. It's alright. Just find my cutters. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done with those? I've lost them. Bottoms. One moment, please. Found them. Just in a surprising location. So a little cable tie holding this together here. just like that. We've got individual connectors for things, which is lovely. Got one here for the power indicator, which would be up here. Show you how much power's in the battery. So if I turned it on, there you go, power indicator or battery level indicator. Really, it's a voltage indicator, and it's very vague. It sort of doesn't matter too much. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll undo this one first, which is for the charge port, I do believe. Just get that heat shrink first. Yeah, charge port there, which is a DC 5.5 by 2.1. It's just bog standard DC barrel jack, basically. Nothing special there. We've got one of these little red connectors for the power indicator there, and then we've got the power switch, which is also one of these, but fairly obviously distinct because, you know, that's white cable's going to it. You could theoretically plug that into there, but you're not going to. Please. Okay, so this is very stuck down. I have to assume there's more of this big sticky tape situation going on underneath here, which will be fun to get off. I suspect there's a long and horrible custom BMS running along the top of this. And then, yeah, tons of silicon, fuse holder, second fuse holder. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, really, does it? Now the fuse holders will be screwed in with 2 screws, but because they're so covered in silicon, I don't really know if I'm going to get them out. Maybe if I just yam this drive around there? Oh yeah, look, there you go. One. How do I get to the second one? Oh, goodness, that's going to be an experience, isn't it? Get that one in a minute. Nope, missed. That's that one. There's also one for this one. It's so covered in silicone. Right, I think they're undone. Maybe using some little tweezers I could extract these screws. There's one. There's that one. There's one just here, but I don't know if I'll get to this one. It's going to be a pig. You can get to it. Okay. 4 of those. You could undo this. You can unscrew this switch with those teeth there, but what's the point? So hopefully now they'll lift up. Goodness gracious. That is solid. Oh, hurts your hand. Freedom? Freedom. Right, there we go. Now the pack itself would be free if it wasn't stuck down. Now to unstick it, I'm thinking I've got a big jabber. There it is. I've got a big jabber and a bit of brake clean. I think will be the way to do this. So let's get the big jabber started in there. Nope. Try the brake clean first. Should start to soften the adhesive up a little bit. Then maybe big jabber. Oh yeah, look, there you go. That's doing it nicely. Bit of leverage. Little spray of brake clean. Do I want to leave this on there or this on there? I suppose really I want to leave this in here, don't I? Probably be nice. I don't think I'm going to have it. Excuse the black stuff. I may or may not have used some bitumen paint or flash band and got it all over this thing. I did. That did happen. Okay, well, we'll keep going this way. Goodness. That really is quite attached, isn't it? That's one end. Let's try for up here a bit then. Yeah, it's coming. Okay, half and half. Whew. It is quite attached. Right, we've got our cables for the battery out over here. Well, they're attached, aren't they? Big jabber. Big jabber. Okay, are we free now then, apart from those? We are free. Apart from those. A bit more silicone, because who doesn't want a bit more silicone? Okay, right. Get that coming out. Be gone. Sticky stuff. Missed. Okay, yeah, look, those are our outputs there. So it's a 48 volt, 14 amp hour battery. I'm thinking that feels very much like a bit of fiberboard on top of there. So I'll need my knife. And then there's this blue tape across everything. Yeah, it's definitely a piece of fiberboard, and this is a cutout. So, let's see if I can start maybe getting some of this tape off. It's all stuck down. Ugh. I think it's actually heat shrunk underneath this tape. I think there is heat shrink underneath it. There's just also tape, because more layers of fun. Oh, that's unpleasant to touch. That's one bit. I know it would be much quicker to cut the heat shrink off. I'm just looking to see, you know, this is sort of a bit of a dive into this. Looking to see what we think, what's going on, anything dodgy. So far it's not bad, is it? Nice siliconed up there. I say nice, I hate it, but I do understand why they do it. Get that off. Can't say that the tape's not sticky here, can you? Come on here. There are two pieces of tape here, but obviously I chopped one earlier with a knife, didn't I? More tape, you say? Fantastic, sir. It's what I always wanted. A bit more tape. Yeah! Okay, without, you know, using solvents and things, all the tape that I think I need to take off is off. Nothing looks bad under there, does it? Chuck that lot in the bin. Stuck to my hands. Right. All looks alright, doesn't it? I think that bit of solder was probably actually picked up from my desk. That was. There we go. Right. In terms of where to cut into this, I'll probably go with the bottom, maybe, and I might peel the heat shrink off it entirely because there's probably no BMS on this end. My word, are they Samsung cells? I think they're Samsung cells. This fish paper. Insulation, PC and ABS. I think that's is that polycarbonate and ABS, something like that. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Good Lord, it's well sealed, isn't it? Just going to rip all the insulation off the wires. No, not quite. Okay, that's all that off. Heat shrink all looked good. You know, it was on there. It was solidly on there. I like to scrape all this off, but it's all quite sticky and horrible to touch. But I'll just stop touching. Oh, you know what? I could just desolder these leads, couldn't I? Coming off anyway. Right. What else do we have? I think these are Samsung cells, you know. They are 35Es, no less. Crikey. Fish paper up this side. Might be up the other side as well, don't know right now. Okay, there's that off. One side, of course. Yeah, I might just desolder these. Should be off anyway because the power switch is unplugged, isn't it? It'll struggle to be on, I'm sure. And if it isn't, oh, well, you can have a laugh at my expense. yes, I know I should be using a larger soldering iron. Thank you. There we go, there's one. Ow. That was our plus. This BMS is not staying, so it doesn't really matter. I suppose if I forget, I've got the video to refer back to, don't I? Come on then. It's heating up the big soldering iron takes so long. Can't be bothered. Right, well there's that. PC plus ABS, so that may be carbon fibre and ABS. Polycarbonate. I don't know if that's a blend or if that's reinforced somehow. But that's what it's labelled as anyway. PC plus ABS. And then for the cell holders, we've also got PC plus ABS labelled there. There's another little sort of serial number on there. UN13480U24X0392. Whatever that means. Okay, let's peel this off and have a little looky look. Oh, I was about to say it's got really hot, but of course I've just been desoldering there. On tape there, or you know, or equivalent. There. That sticker's there again a second time. Get rid of that, it doesn't matter anymore. And there's a second one of those stickers, serial number or something like that. Right, let's pop this off. Ah, that's quite attached, isn't it? I hate it. Winds me up. Split it there. See if I can. Well, I'll pop off what I can. I'll get to that again in a moment. Let me in. Okay. Well, that was attached, wasn't it? Bit more stuff for them in there. Okay. So we've got what does appear to be a custom BMS. It's a little dip switch there. Wonder what that does. Obviously turn it before you ever check what that might do. Thermal power. Oh, there's an on-off switch. That is. On and off. Interesting. Well, we'll turn that off. Sticky pad of some sort there. But yes, that's interesting. On-off switch there. You've got some, well, unpopulated things. Some more unpopulated things. What appear to be some balancing resistors here. Capacitors. The brains there. A bit more of this tape here. You've got, and then MOSFETs 1, 2, possibly 2 for charging, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for discharge or something like that. I don't know. People have said that The spot welds aren't much good, and then the solder joints are dry basically. So new BMS and re-spot weld things, it should be alright. These are directly spot welded onto the top, and of course they wouldn't normally look like this, but I've just ripped the silicone off the top of them off, so they've been trying quite hard to stay attached. All look great. 2019 13S board, various different things. There looks like maybe there's a layer for a second piece, something like that. Yeah, I mean overall looks okay. Don't see anything too heinous or horrendous. Looks alright. But you know, it's the way of things, isn't it? Let's see. Anything under here? If this is all going to come off in one piece. I really hope it does. I want to reuse this stuff. It's so conveniently, you know, there. That's one piece, isn't it? Nice. I'll keep that to one side. Nice custom cut jobby there. So we're 10S4P, 13S4P. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All seems pretty good. It's custom cut nickel, but of course it's just a high-long case, so it would be, wouldn't it? I don't know, people say the spot welds are weak, but doesn't look too bad to me. What I'll do, I'll be going around, I'll re-spot weld. I'll have to clean off all this glibby stuff, which hopefully will just come off with, like, you know, if I spray a bit of brake clean, it immediately changes consistency from this to this sort of bobbliness. Hopefully that, plus a bit of blue roll or something, I can wipe it off. Hopefully. I don't know, it might be acetone or, you know, isopropyl alcohol or something like that might be a better suit, but we'll see. Does this look like it'll ever take it off? Sort of. It's not great, is it? But yeah, I see nothing wrong with the actual nickel itself. I'll probably re-spot weld what's here. Yeah, this is just turning into sort of lumps of fun snot, which is joyous, isn't it? That'll be really, really good fun to deal with. Yeah! But I mean, it looks alright, doesn't it? Nothing looks loose. Seems quite attached. At a glance, it's alright. Really touch only one side of this at a time, because 48 volts will still give me a good old zapping. Yeah, let's not have that anywhere near. Let's see if I can get it underneath this end. Be under the nickel as well then. There you go, I was. There we go. And there's that as well. Okay. This side also looks alright, to be honest. I don't see anything too bad. A bit of me does think, what's the big fuss about? RAD and all that say that they've had the batteries tested independently and they're good. It looks fine. I didn't know it had Samsung cells in it. I'm quite impressed. Yeah. Now, if it's 4p how on earth can that be 14 amp hours? 35Es, 13S, 4P. Oh no, 4P is 14 amp hours. Yeah, I'm being stupid. It really is. So that's quite cool. I mean, if someone brought this in to me and said, can you sort of, inspect it and things, obviously I'd check for cell balancing and if it all charged up and discharged properly and if they're staying in balance and things like that. And how hot things got, of course. I wouldn't consider it bad. What I don't like on any BMS is this style of MOSFET. It's like a, I don't know, I'd call it a laptop style MOSFET. These little ones. I like the big ones. So you know these. I don't see these fail. That one was an interesting board to take apart, wasn't it? I don't see these fail in the same way. Whereas those little MOSFETs, especially recently, I've seen a lot of the little ones do bad things, which is, not so grand. And I try and sort of steer away from things with those, if at all possible. Even this, which goes on top of sort of like a wrench and eel battery, excuse my disgusting soldering job. This was just to make an adapter for that to regular JST so I could rack up the balancer. But look, it uses the normal size MOSFETs, not the weird little ones. Yeah, they'd be what I don't like. May not actually fail, but if I'm being picky, which I am, I guess. I suppose I'm here to be picky. That'd be literally the only thing I could think of that I don't really like, and that is me being quite picky. So yeah, it's got this big bus that I think the negative must go down. Is that the positive? Wait for it. No, I think that's a negative that goes down there. Well, I suppose what I'll do then, I'll start chopping through all these. Let's remove the little balance tabs. Are they doubled up? My God, I think they're doubled up. A bit of me wonders if this whole pack's been rebuilt or something. I think that some of the nickels all doubled up. Who knows? I'd have to see a second, wouldn't I suppose. Okay. Right, so does that free you off, or are you screwed on somehow? Perhaps screwed there. Or is that just a temp sensor going through? It might just be a temp sensor going through. I think that's all that was. Oh, yeah, it was. Well, we've ripped it off now anyway, so I've damaged the cell wrapper there. Yeah, nothing on the back at all. Empty board, but it does label what these are. B+, P+, C-, TX, RX ground, which isn't used, so. Well, that's what's going on in there anyway. Anyone wants a nice close up of the board. Hopefully that's good enough for anyone who wants it, that they can, you know, pause the video and take a screen capture or something. My hands aren't just vibrating. But yeah, I'll have to rescue all these connectors, I suppose, won't I? To use them again, because they're quite handy ones to have for the way that this battery's already been put together. There's that one, there's that one. These were for the switch. There's our P minus going over to our, oh, what do you call this bit? Power indicator. Fortunately, the rest of this is underneath about 16 inches of silicone. I don't even know how I'm going to even undo those. I suppose I'll just hack at the silicone for half an hour until I get somewhere. Oh no, look, that's not that bad. Once you peel it back a bit, it's alright. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a huge pain in the arse. Why would B plus... Oh, the fuse. It goes off the board and then back onto the board. Big chunks. So there's our charge negative. Okay, then we've got our B plus, which is battery positive, which goes, yeah, like off the board, so it goes from the cells onto the board. Ow, that's hot. And then off the board, through the fuse, into the out side of things. Does it make sense? Yeah, yes, again, I know I should be using a larger soldering iron. Normally I would, but I'm in a rush. Well, not really in a rush, but I don't like waiting. I don't want to wait right now and get this video filmed, so using a little one, it doesn't matter because this is going in the bin. Anyway, there was a temp sensor, it was just here. Those are its little wires. I have ripped them off and they are now in that silicon there. Put that over there. I'll get these in a bit. No, not really, I can't. So yeah, temp sensors somewhere in here. Oh. There it was. Fairly standard looking temp sensor there. Nothing too crazy. Funny, the silicone that you've used everywhere else has gone a bit soft, and this stuff's gone really hard, but it might be like a thermal one where, because it's designed to conduct heat through to the sensor, not sort of insulate it so much, it might be why it's gone off like that. But again, I really am sort of picking at straws here. It looks, to be honest, like a very well made and well thought out battery pack. You know, really doesn't look too bad. And I think, yeah, some of the nickel must be doubled up. Single. Or not? Is that doubled up? God, I don't think it is now. No, I don't think any of the nickel is doubled up. what I think I was seeing as extra nickel was the remains of the sticky stuff from earlier. Yeah, don't think any of it's doubled up, but that's okay. Right, I'm going to clean this gunk off. Surely nobody wants to watch me clean the gunk off. So I'll get that done. And we'll cut back to, I don't know, re-spot welding stuff and try and find a BMS that fits, because we're limited on space, because look at the bloody how thin this one is. Okie dokie, right, we are back. I've got all the goo taken off, so it's all nice and clean now. Spot welds are going to work lovely. And I'm just going to go around and I'm going to spot weld everything again, because it all needs it. So this will be fun, won't it? Yeah. And that's one side done. I guess I'll do the next side now. Yay! Now that's exciting stuff. ideal. They might have got a bit warm towards the end of that. Might have been a good chance to give them a little moment to cool down, but here we are. It's fine, it's not actually blowing anything through, it's just gives us a little bit of a and surprise. But everything's all spot welded up again now, so they're not coming loose. They're not coming off. What I need to do now is extend these little tabs. Oh, you can't see. Is extend these little tabs for the balance wires now. And the main positive and negative power points, which will be negative over this end and positive up this end. So I'll make those a bit longer. I've got all sorts of fun niggly things, so I'm just going to work that out and then we'll come back. Okay, right, I've worked out some of it, so we'll start there. I can just put this away. So I've got these for the pos and neg, but I'll double them up so they're twice as thick. Let's see what strength that's even like. Oh, that's not bad, is it? That'll do absolutely fine for what I need to do right now. And then I've got these, which is a whole one of these thingies. That's two I'm holding, so it looks a bit weird, but one of those that I've cut down with a little tab on the end. I think, there's just one. And that there then should extend pretty nicely, I think. Do the JO, innit? this one here is getting a fat one, but it's not a pos or neg, it's just a balance lead, so it's getting the 1. Okay, I'll have to come back and double these up, but I'll turn the welder up for that because it's annoying turning it up 47 times. You know, up and down and stuff, but they've come out looking just fine. So this will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those ones, and then this, but double that. So this one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that, I can count. And I just trimmed them off like this, quite close to the end there. This is a little bit like that. Okay, right, that's all the little balance leads done. I've just got to turn up the welder to spot weld on these extra little pieces, which takes ages. This one we do not want our fingers near, because this one will get really hot. The welder is turned up big time. So I'll make sure that one's lined up beforehand. Also not going anywhere. Nice and lined up as well. Can barely see its two strips. Not that that really matters, but you know, here we are. And then I'll have one for that side. Touching that already. We're going to line this bad boy up. Oh, it touches. Little shit. Okay. Also not going anywhere. There's something stuck to that there. There's a lot of bits of something stuck to this. Why are there so many bits stuck to my battery? Okay, so not too bad, if I may say so myself. How do I zoom you out? Zoom. One. There you go, look. Not too shabby. I suppose that one could be straighter by a hair, but it's really not too far off. Excellent. So we'll have to go and find a BMS that's going to fit in here now. Okie dokie. I have helpfully labelled, stuck to me, the numbers on this. So we've got 0 for our negative, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, up to 13 for our positive. Very handy. And I found the BMS. I don't know if it's going to fit, but we'll find out together. Here's our BMS. It's a common port, on-off switch, temperature sensor. It's the Be Much Safer brand. I like these. They're reasonably priced and they work, which is kind of all you want. 20 amp, so 48 volts. That's perfectly fine for a 750 watt motor, which is what these RAD power bikes will do if de-restricted. I think that 250 watt is the legal thing, but it's good to allow enough for both because that's what the original one did. And I've got these to put back on, which are nice and make it look complete, and I want them. I like this. I wish all my batteries had this. This is like a nice finishing touch of professionalness, you know? Big fan of these sticky things. Also means I can't short my fingers out on the balance tabs on the side, only the top now, because if I do that I'll zap myself, because 48 volts is enough to go through my skin. Technically it's 50 volts, but I don't trust my skin. And a fully charged 48 volt battery is 54.6 volts. Okay, there we go. So none of this is very invasive to how it was originally. You could get away with leaving those little tabs there and just soldering the wires onto the side. I just didn't want to do that, you know. I want it to be nice. I like nice. Nice is good. Oh, and I put this piece of fish paper on. I don't know if I said or not, but there's a piece of fish paper on. Piece of fish paper on it now. So we've got. Oh yeah, that thing was all mushed on there originally, wasn't it? We might just sort of do away with that because we don't have this going on anymore. The old board. Now, how much room have we got on this thing there? I've got to get all this off yet, and this. I love just literal mounds of silicon. It's my favourite thing in the whole world. And what way up did this go? Did this go this way? Yeah, it must have done. Nice foam on the side and everything. I'm going to be honest, I think they're really nice batteries. I think they're quite well built. I would have never, thought that should be a problem, but here we are. Thing to do, I suppose, is to just yam this on top and see if the case closes. Easy answer to that, but I don't really want to shorten everything out with these, so I'll just maybe do something involving big load of tape, just so that no shorty badnesses occur on all this. That'll do. As long as I'm not stupid with it, that shouldn't really be too much of a problem. And are these problematic? Not really, no. There's room up the sides. Oh yeah, that'll shut. It's a little tighter than it was, of course, but it's okay. I'm not even on that yet, so that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Good stuff. Got to work out where I want this then, and what I want to extend, because the length of all this original gubbins is. God, there's just so much silicone and everything. Look at it. It's fucking awash with the stuff. Well, here we are. So none of this will reach that anymore, will it? If that was on there and that was on there. Oh no, look, that would reach. That would reach. Therefore, that would reach. And that will go to this. Okay. So that's quite neat. That will all still go to the same location. So I don't need to extend this positive wire to go up there, therefore I want this to be long enough that the neg will get to there and there. This will work. Just fine, I think. There'll be enough length on this for that to go up to the key switch wire, because I'll be soldering that onto there, which will go to that. There's enough length for our battery positive to get to our neg here, and there's enough length for this to go down to that there, which is great. And I'll just have to pop a little hole for the temperature sensor so it can get down onto some cells. So pretty much slap bang there, it's going to work nicely for us. Okay. I quite like to use this stuff to mount the BMSs with. It's some like ridiculously sticky tape. My only problem is it's so sticky, I tend not to be able to get the red stuff off very easily because it's too sticky. Worst problems to have, I'm sure. Sticky tape that's too sticky. But there we So I like to maybe mush this on, and then I can get my little nail under there, begin to peel. Oh, it's worked. Fantastic. Now before I do that, do I want to put down my double-sided sticky that I'll use for my wires? Yes. Yes, I do. Is that going to interfere with these? I don't think it will. If it does, it'll only be a little bit. Just kind of mush you underneath there. Underneath there a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Gorgeous. So, just separate this. You know, just like that. Oh, what a good day. It's all gone well. Can't see me writing anymore, but you saw it once. It's not very exciting. Looks a bit like some writing. And if this was here, there was adequate cable to get to there. I'm going to go with there. Okay. It's nice that. Come out nicely. Right, soldering iron is on. There was a stick of solder floating around this room. There it is. So all these terminals are going to need tinning. And of course for the negative one it's 2, so I'm going to get a bit of solder under there. And a bit of solder under there. And then I'll push down on this and it will join them together, so we're definitely not just conducting down one, which would be wasteful. Like that. And same on this end where we've got the main positive terminal, we've got to just make these be more than one layer. Making sure we get a bit of solder on each side. It'll change colour, just like that. There we go, right. So our main negative can go on here. Oh, hello. Let's get my tweezers anyway. Change colour. Beautiful. This I need to make sure I put down in here. Okay, down that. just that, like that. This will get joined to that, but also this will get joined to the charge one as well. So I'll have to extend that too. Yeah, oh, that's okay. Coming together, isn't it? Slowly but slowly. I'm quite a big fan of leaving equal length balance wires and a big bundle of slack here. So I'm probably going to just not trim these so that they're all super neat. You know, in terms of unequal. Oh, I don't know now. See, I'm limited for space though, that's the problem. If I make a big bundle of wire and the lid doesn't shut, I wish I didn't do that, won't I? I will. There's that. I'll probably have to do it the boring way and do it one by one then. There isn't enough place to stick all this down, unfortunately. To work out what I'm doing with that in a minute. Maybe this one could go right close. It could go right close. Snippers. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough room to stick all these nicely, which is a right shame. But here we are. What can I do about that? Not a lot. That's warm. That's cheating, by the way. You definitely should never do that. You must suffer and spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours sorting your balance leads for no reason, when it really could be quite a quick and easy process. So a bit of cheeky soldery wiring meltiness. I hate the idea of there being no slack, so I'm building in a little slack loop. Because what if I need to change something later? It'd be really annoying, wouldn't it? Ooh. Got to stop doing that. Hopefully this upsets people, triggers them a little bit. I'm sure I said or I meant to say, don't try this at home. never do it, you will explode. You'll die. It will be a horrible experience for everybody. What could we do with this one? Oh, we could do a little loop like that, couldn't we? That'd be unaesthetically pleasing. Might actually have to strip this one. That's lovely spaghetti. Don't you love it? Gorgeous. Right, these need soldering onto this, don't they? Onto this lovely connector here. And I've just got to trim off about 1.5 miles of silicone. Oh, fingernails. Look at that. Will that do? Is that enough? Am I happy? No. Do it anyway. Okay. Do not drop bits on this, it will never come off. Doesn't matter which way around these go, as they're just switch wires. So them being red and black is sort of meaningless. They aren't really red and black, they're just two bits of wire, and if you join them, it's no different to joining them, you know, one way or another. Little bit of tapey tape on there. Oh, use heat shrink. No. Little bit of tapey tape on there. And then what's that you say? Tape them together. Okay. With wiring loom tape, so they can't move. Okay. I'll do it. You've convinced me. There we go, that's those ones. They've got loads of room to tuck out the way over here. Now I've just got this lot to deal with. Yay! So for our main negative out, just seeing about how much slack I've got. Not very much, but not zero. Just wondering about if it's possible for me to, I don't know, fit like a Wago on here or something, because that'd be... God. Decent way to make this connection functional. Good Lord, there we go. Is there enough slack on there? I mean, there kind of is, isn't there? Do you not think? Wait for it, it's in one of these drawers. But I've moved everything and I don't remember where I put anything. Twos, threes. Okay. Sacrilege. Ugh. No, it's a big old no. I don't think even I'm going to get that to fit in there. It just feels a bit close to the edge for some shitty join, doesn't it? You know? Like, I can do it, but do I want to do it? Do I like doing it? I don't want to rerun a new piece of wire because that's also dumb. I suppose I could make a connection along the side here and then the pods would run just another way. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. Could work. I don't really like this. That's not really very joined, is it? No. Have I got a fun wire hardy thing? I do, but where is it? Is that it? I've got this squeezy one. Try that. That could work. Give it a go. That is actually quite joined now. I'm pleased. That's, whilst horrible, functional. I don't have very much wire to work with. I don't want to trim it down anymore. It'll be alright. It's not going anywhere, is it? So that will need joining to the... Well, that's probably live now. Key switch is off at least. Interesting, that's not where that's supposed to be. That will need joining to the charge wire then, which would come off this port here and be that one there. Oh my god, guys, there's more silicone. Yeah. Actually love a wire that's caked in it. It's my favourite thing. And that would reach, how far would that reach? Let's see, shall we? That was there and that was all joined to there, that would reach to there. So probably need yay long of black cable. All this nice yellow cable that I have lying around. I like it. This wire holder thing is quite useful. It's not too bad, I suppose. You know the drill. First I wrap it in tape, then wrap it in wiring loom tape. Gorgeous. Right, where was I a moment ago? I don't remember anymore. Oh yeah, that needed to join to over there. Then all these positive ones need to join to over there. God, they are really managed in there with silicone, aren't they? Good lord. I'll just cut that off. Okay, that's slightly less of a silicone-y doom, isn't it? Right, Which one of these was which? Did it say, were they labelled? Like 5 amp on that side, 40 amp this side. So the big one has to be over here. This isn't too bad. That one's got to go there. That one's got to go there. How do you fit, sir? One in there, one in there. You'll join to there. Or you could join to there, perhaps. Hang on. No, you wouldn't reach. So you can join to the positive. Over there. You'll join to that. There. I'm getting there. It's just, you know, taking me 10 or 27 moments. My nice tweezers. There they are. You got to move those, didn't I? All of them away. Sorry, camera mount. Okay, it's a bit more like it. So that's live with positive electricity at the moment, which I don't really muck with that too much. So this needs screwing down, and that's going to need screwing down. Okay, let's deal with screwing these down quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrangle my little lecky screwdriver down in there. Maybe I'll just do one for now. That'd be safer. One is a good start, because the screws are full of, you guessed it, silicone. I actually love that so much. Favourite thing in the world. You know, I wish more manufacturers would just silicone the fuck out of everything. Excuse my French there, but I feel quite strongly about it. As somebody on a regular basis has to rip out vast chunks of it, and it's just everywhere like that. All the time. I feel things. Okay, there you go, that's on there. That's not even that tight. Great. Right, so we need to join this wire here over to this slot over here, so it's going to come down the side, probably. Yeah, probably down the side. I need to keep it far away from that bad boy. Far away. How am I going to do this, usually? Don't know, I haven't thought about it yet either. Something like that, maybe? I don't really like that, but you know, it is what it is. I don't really like that, no. Maybe I'll just tin it and see how I feel after that. going on there. No, didn't think it was. Kind of a difficult one, this, because to get that and that joined hot is one thing, but introducing a third wire to the mix is another, and I don't have a soldering iron big enough for that. Well, I do, but it's off. We'll just heat it up till everything gets a bit warm and see what happens, shall we? I reckon it'll be alright. I already don't like this. It is what it is. Look, I'm going to fix it. Thing to do, of course, is just lengthen the wire enough, or replace this wire so it's long enough to actually reach things. Could shove them all in a way, it'd be grand. Now we've got this. It exists, and that's what we've got. Okay. Right, what else have I got? I've got to get plugged in. I've got this connector here, which is the power indicator, but because this is a common port battery, I could wire it straight off the charge port here. So I could just tap into these wires right here. It'd be easier than running everything again, wouldn't it? So if I get a lot of this and a lot of this, I could get this one. Now expose a bit, wrap this bad boy around there, like that, and there you go, and splice. I feel like these things steadily get a bit more bodgy as they go on, but there's one. And I can do the same thing to this red wire here. It's actually so pointless when that's right there. That one's a waste of time. before I cut too far into that, let's just stick that on there. Like that one's actually a waste of time because I've got the main positive like literally there. There we go. If I plug those in, maybe they're less likely to short out on things. We could say that. That's an answer we could have. Okay. Right, so we've just got to deal with the main positive connection now, which goes from the pack and the fuses and stuff over to here, which is literally just, you know, lengthening a wire that's completely covered in silicon. Oh, we love that, don't we? Just chop that one off, shall we? Just try that one again. Be much easier then. Okay, a bit of red stuff. It's a bit of red stuff. Do nicely, won't it? Very good. Should we use our wire joiny thingy again? That's interesting. My God. That's all right. Okay, there's that. Just got to get them over here then because it's not charging the bloody thing. A bit of slack, we'll give it a bit of slack, like that. That's not going to work, that one. No. There's not enough wire there for that. Quite nice. Right, that should theoretically be a working battery. Obviously I've got to make it all pretty. To be fair, it was a working battery beforehand, but this one's on the list of recalled bads for some reason. At least in the US. I actually don't know if the EU market was different, but I'm making the video now, aren't I? It's happened, so here we are. Be a 4-hour-long waste of time. Let's get that like that. Like that. Put that back in there, like so. There you go. Right. We should have nothing on the indicator. We do not. Then if I turn the key switch on, we've still got nothing on the indicator, probably. Oh, that's on there. Hey, look at that. Are you even in frame? Yeah, you are. There you go. So, I'll charge this up to full. We'll see everything's all, you know, happy and dandy and stuff. And then we'll test it. Now, wouldn't that be exciting? Let's try and untangle this charge. I don't know how they always tangle themselves. Every time I go to get another thing, it's just tangle. Right. Charger plugged in. That's a 48-volt one, so 54.6 volts output. This one's 3 amps, not the original 2 amp, but it'll be right. And I'll get that like that. And we'll plug it in. Charging. Very good. I'm not filming the entire charging process. Nope. I will cut back when it's done, I suppose, for the discharge test and see how it's getting on. Probably all absolutely fine because it was fine beforehand. I basically done a BMS swap and the respot welder thing. So yeah, we'll come back in a while. Okie dokie, it's finished charging. It's much later now. Multimeter. I suppose I should unplug that really for a true reading. One on the negative, one on the positive. Oh, look at that. That's actually wrong. 54.85 is actually too high. Oh look, 4.23. 4.22. 4.22. 4.22. 4.22. 4.22. That's interesting. I think the charger output voltage is too high then. And the BMS. Shouldn't let it charge that high up. That's interesting. I will have to look into that. And this, once now it's unplugged, it will sort of rest down a bit. But that's, what's my charger putting out? My charger's putting out 54.9. That's not right. I'll look into that. It's sort of, it's kind of minor for now. Least of my problems. Something I do have to address is that this part here won't fit. I think I'll have to undo the key barrel and put it back on. Unless I could just get some big pliers and just crush it into place, maybe. Perhaps. No. You cannot. But the whole thing could come off. Right, and then go back over. And sit in the right place after that. Yes. Yes, it could. Glorious. Right. We'll test this. There's no point buttoning it up until it's tested. That would be dumb. And I shall show you some test results. You want to watch me start hitting the button, hitting the go button? Maybe. I don't know. Okie dokie, so we've got that all connected up to the tester, like this. And on here you can see we've got the voltage settled a bit now, 54.7. It's close enough. Amps obviously is not going. 10 amps. Oh, cut off I've put at 3, not 30. I wanted to put that at 35 volts, because that felt a bit more appropriate. Ah, my digital footprint. No. And we can start. It's weird looking through the phone screen. There you go, that started. And you can see we've got some voltage sag at 10 amps. 10 amps about 500 watts, isn't it? I suppose it. There you go. Oh, it actually says it there, look. 514.1 watts, which will go down slowly over time. Down here you can see our average voltage, energy, capacity, begin voltage, cut off voltage, because there's nothing on there. That's what I've set it to, and that's the device. Turn on my very professional cooling fan. Wouldn't want it to get too hot, would you? So yeah, there we go. We'll check back in about an hour, 1.4 hours. About an hour and 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. Okay, there you go. 12.39 amp hours. That's all good. And if we take a look at the screen, you can see the curve there, starting voltage, finishing voltage. What it cut off at. And there you go. All working nicely. I'd say that 12.4 amp hours out of a possible 14 at not, perfect temperatures. It's probably a touch cold for it. It's, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 degrees out, something like that, maybe even lower. It's not too bad, really. Let's see what it thinks it is. My phone doesn't know what it thinks it is, but here we are. So yeah, hopefully that's all sorted. I've obviously got to get all this buttoned up, so papered and wrapped and all that fun stuff, and back inside here, but we'll get there, and hopefully I'll check back in with you with the result. Ooh. Okie dokie. It is slightly later. We've tried it on the bike. It all works. It's all, shut and fits together and stuff. And there's focus, no lights. We've turned it on, lights and voltage and power output, and it's settled at 54.6 volts, which is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So yeah, again, sorry it's been quite so long since the last video. I took a little break over Christmas and stuff because I don't know, I guess I just felt like it. And thanks very much for watching. If this helps somebody out in the future, feel free to like the video. You could comment, subscribe to the channel. You could become a channel member if you so fancy. That is 99 cents a month. I get a shockingly small amount of that. But it helps me keep making videos like this for you guys. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.